They start on the weekend. Now we're gonna try to go through this very quickly. We're not going to preview each series. We're going to talk about the hot teams, which I think is really the big storyline. John, let's just look at what's here. Let's start on the right-hand side. This is on the Eastern Conference. Those are the Washington Capitals. 51 wins, 111 points on the season. You know, the whole spotlight this season has been on Alexander Ovechkin breaking Gretzky's career goal-scoring record. Ovi's got 43 goals. Dylan Strome has had a really good season. Third guy in the equation, Tom Wilson, has become a complete hockey player. Big, tough guy. He's got 33 goals. Only concern I have about the Capitals is Logan Thompson good enough to be a red-hot goaltender in the playoffs? That, to me, is a big issue, I think, in Washington. Toronto Maple Leafs, 51 wins, 106 points in the standings. Auston Matthews was hurt for half the season. I scored 60 last year. He's only scored 32 this season. Auston Matthews is supplanted by Mitch Marner. He's helped, obviously, by John Tavares, who's got 38 goals. William Nylander has had back-to-back 40-goal seasons. Only question I have about the Maple Leafs, are they trustworthy in goal? Because I'm not really sure that they've got enough goals keeping to be a team and be able to get through 4 best-of-7 series. Next one down there on the right-hand side, Tampa Bay Lightning and then the Florida Panthers. That's going to be interesting. They play each other. The Sunshine State Brawl. They don't like each other. Tampa's really good. Nikita Kucherov led the league in scoring, not just in goals, but big assist man. Brian Hagel, Jake Gensel had 41 goals this season in Tampa. Braden Point is one of the best playoff performers we've seen. Tampa's really good. And by the way, they got Vasilevsky in goal, and he can get hot. Now, in terms of the Florida Panthers, they're going to get Matthew Tkachuk back. Now, remember, he got hurt in the Four Nations tournament. They have Sam Reinhart, they have Barkov, and they got a great goaltender also in Bobrovsky. The only burning question, how close to 100% is Matthew Tkachuk? So those are the marquee teams on the East. I got to believe Toronto is probably the one that survives if their goaltending holds up in the Eastern Conference playoffs. All right, let's go to the West. Winnipeg. Oh, Canada. I didn't see this coming. I don't think they saw this thing coming. Winnipeg Jets, 56 wins, 114 points. Winnipeg, President's Cup. You know what that means? Home ice every series. They won the President's Cup, which is the best overall record. Home ice in Winnipeg, any playoff series.
Oh, right on.
That is huge. Winnipeg's got Kyle Connors. That's 41 goals for him. Mark Scheifele had 38. And, of course, they got Connor Hellebuck. Best goaltender in the league, 2.02 goals against average. He won 47 games in the pipes for Winnipeg. Now, that's Dallas right next to them. That's a team that's pretty good, 50 wins, but they just lost one of their goal scorers last night on a cheap shot hit. Jason Robertson's been hurt off and on, down again. They don't know if he's going to be completely healthy. They do have Mikhail Ratnan, who came, of course, in the controversial trade from Carolina. They just got Tyler Seguin back. He, of course, recovered from hip surgery. That's a really good team. But now, if you don't have this goal scorer, Robertson, that's a big blow to Dallas. But they've played half their season with guys hurt. Las Vegas, not getting a lot of national recognition, but boy, they're good. They got 50 wins. Jack Eichel, Thomas Hertl, really good. They got 11 guys in Vegas who've scored 10 goals or more. A lot of balanced scoring. They don't have what I'd call our scary snipers in the Las Vegas lineup, but they got a bunch of grinders that do a really good job. Only question I have about Vegas, young goaltender. We saw him play down here in the American Hockey League against the San Diego Gulls. It's taken Aiden Hill a bit of time to become a star, but he's had a really good season. But playoffs, that's a different method of life. We'll see if Aiden Hill can hold up in goal for the Las Vegas. Let's talk about the other team, Colorado Avalanche. A lot of injuries during the course of the season. They got Nathan McKinnon, 116-point season for him. Cale Makar, maybe as good an offensive defenseman as there is in the league. The only question I have is their goaltending. Is it the right goaltending? Colorado does not have enough firepower outside of McKinnon. If you can check him into the ice and slow him down, maybe the Avalanche don't survive. We move on. LA Kings. They have arrived. This is a complete hockey team. An LA Kings team that is loaded with they got 31 home ice wins, 31-5-4. They play their final home game tonight against Calgary. This is Adrian Kempe, who's got 35 goals. It's Kevin Fiala's got 35 goals. This Anze Kopitar, the great veteran's got 21 goals and a whole bunch of assists. The big storyline nobody's talking about are the young guys. What Warren Fogle, who came from Edmonton, has meant to them, what Quentin Byfield has grown into, and they are 6 deep on defense, and they got the second best goaltender in the league in Darcy Kemper, who also has a 2.02 goals against average. This is a really good, deep Kings team, and it's pretty tough to go into Crypto.com Arena, their barn, and win on their ice. And the other one is Edmonton. And once upon a time, they were the most feared team in the West, and they're beat up. Now, they think Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl are going to be able to hold up and play in the best-of-7 series. These guys have been out with injuries. The burning question that I have as it relates to the Edmonton Oilers, and Draisaitl had 52 goals, and it has not been a big goal-scoring season for Connor McDavid. I have just questions about Stuart Skinner. This is not the goaltender that was red hot last year. And again, is this going to be another year where Edmonton has a great regular season and does not get to the Stanley Cup Finals? Because that suddenly has become the albatross that they're wearing around their neck, that they're really good, but they don't get to the finals. And the first rounds, my God, don't walk away from the TV this weekend. You got the Battle of Ontario. Mm-hmm. Maple Leafs don't like the Ottawa Senators. You got the Sunshine State fight, Tampa versus the Florida Panthers. You got Winnipeg, St. Louis, which is going to be a hell of a battle. St. Louis Blues finished up with a 12-game winning streak at the end of the season, even though Winnipeg has home ice. Blues are going to cause them some problems. Colorado, Dallas, I think, is an even Stevens slugfest. They're 2 really good teams. And then there's a history. LA Kings, Edmonton Oilers. Oilers eliminated the Kings 3 straight years in the first round. Payback. The Kings are going to have home ice for this series. John, Hockey Hotline. Those are the hottest teams. Those are the storylines to pay attention to, in one man's opinion. Go ahead, respond.
You know, it's one thing that's cool about the NHL playoffs. Besides, it's exciting, it's exhilarating, it's like a big step up amongst the over the regular season. But I just like learning more about some of these cities in Canada, you know, because as an American sports fan, I know all the NFL cities, but we're learning more about Calgary and Winnipeg. And then you see the fans out there supporting their team because they probably feel that their city, their community is relevant on the continental stage, you know. So I think it's great, you know, to see some of these teams, these cities have their big opportunity in the sun.
Oh, it's cool. And what ESPN and TNT have done on TV in terms of televising all these doubleheaders, it's phenomenal. I mean, the TV ratings are at an all-time high, and all these arenas are sold out. You can't get in. You know, if you watch the Battle of Ontario, you'll see obviously in Toronto sold out. But then they'll use the camera, go outside Maple Leaf Square. I swear to you, it'll be 2 blocks long of fans wearing Maple Leaf gear that are outside. I mean, that's what the NHL has become. So it's a long run. It's the toughest trophy in sport to go get. 4 best-of-7 series. If you're asking me at this hour who I think survives, this might be sacrilegious. Don Cherry will send me a Christmas card from Hockey Night in Canada. It would not stun me to see Maple Leafs, Winnipeg Jets in the Stanley Cup Finals. Hell, it's their game. They invented it. I'll let them have an all-Canada Stanley Cup Final. But the history of the Stanley Cup playoffs, somebody gets hot, somebody's goaltender gets hot, some unknown third-liner guy scores game-winning goals, a whole bunch of them. Somebody else shows up in the NHL Finals that you did not expect. But if you're asking me at this hour, I got the Winnipeg Jets and I got the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup Finals with an asterisk because things can change.
You know what's cool is that every series is a best of 7.
Yep.
There's no like play-in game. There's no like, one and done kind of a thing, or a goofy little 3-game series.
You have to earn it.
You gotta legit, you gotta get there and earn it. But now you're an old-time Maple Leafs guy, and they haven't won the cup since the 60s, right?
1967. That was a few slap shots ago, yes.
So what seed are they? You're saying they're going to be in the Stanley Cup final. What seed are they at?
Well, they're right behind Washington overall, because Washington was in the East, was the number 1 seed. Maple Leafs are right there. Winnipeg, obviously, is number 1 in the West, and number 1 with the President's Cup, because they had the most wins, most points. So they get home ice advantage. But you're going to have to play somebody big somewhere along the way, too.
But an all-Canada final, that hasn't happened forever, right?
And this is the first time no U.S.-based, or of the original 6, are in the finals or in the playoffs. No Rangers, no Islanders, no Boston Bruins,
Red Wings,
no Blackhawks, no Red Wings.
That's interesting. Well, you got the 2 teams from Florida in there. You don't have the Red Wings, which is kind of odd. But I'll tell you what, we have a lot of fans of the podcast here that join us from Winnipeg. So I'm rooting for them. I hope they have success there.
They earned this.
Oh, yeah. And then, with the Kings are, sort of kind of local. They're a couple hours drive up the freeway from us.
They've been building for this, and starting Saturday. Payback,
yeah. And I remember watching that series against the Oilers. That was a tough series. And then the Vegas team, I'm interested in them because I want pro sports to be successful in Las Vegas. So I'm hoping the Golden Knights have a nice run. Obviously, they won the Cup a year or 2 ago, right? So there's a lot of different teams here that, you can kind of connect with during this playoff season.
Hockey fans, Canada Network's invited to jump on board in the Fans Forum chat box. This podcast brought to you by Dixieline Lumber and Home Centers. 9 locations to serve you in San Diego. Build it, fix it. We guarantee you'll enjoy it in 2025 if you work with Dixieline to get your home projects done. And by Our Lads Draft Guide. You like the NFL, you like college football, here comes the draft. Still time for you to place your order. Our Lads Draft Guide. Just go to ourlads.com, place your order. They'll get you your draft guide, the book, and the newsletters ASAP.